Alright, this is the first video of the 2020 S1 RIPTOA. So today, I'm going to talk about Remote Lab, the MOASS, and Accessions point tracker. And we're going to go through this entire RIPTOA through a series of videos, and I'm going to break them off into just chunks that kind of make sense. And then you can go through the videos, and they'll be labeled properly, and just watch them to see, exactly what there is to learn, because there's just way too much to type out, and I think this makes sense to use a visual aid, especially because we can't meet up. So again, Remote Lab, MOASS, and the Sessions Point Tracker. So if you want to access the MOASS, you have to do it through Remote Lab. And Remote Lab is accessing your school desktop from home. And obviously, Frankie, you're already going to know this, but for anyone else watching this in the future, what you're going to do is you're going to type in UWIO, Remote Lab, just like that. Click the first one, it's the Microlab link, the Remote Lab system right here, and then I do the HTML access. You can download it onto your desktop. It's a little bit faster and it works a little bit better, but I usually just do HTML. And then you're going to log in. I've already logged in, so it takes me straight here. And then you can go to the standard pool, okay? So once you do that, bam, you're on your school desktop. This is what it looks like anytime you're accessing a computer at school. And then to access the share drive, so it's like the ROTC data bank, basically, you're going to come right here and type in this right here. So it's / warehouse / army ROTC / student / and you have to have this / at the end, otherwise it won't work. And this takes you right to ROTC's stuff. Now, I made a new folder for you guys already. This is MS4 2020 through 2021. It's empty right now because you guys have nothing in it. But if you want to access all of my stuff or any of the stuff from people in the past, from our past year or years past, you're free to do so. So all my stuff's in here. MS4 2019 through 20. Go to S1. I was the spring S1. And then if you want, I don't know how this happened, but I have another spring one, and then MOASS, and then here's the MOASS. So I recommend that at the end of the year, or no, at the beginning of the year for you guys, you're going to come in here and copy this MOASS straight to your new MS4 folder, and then just access it from there. Then that way you don't really want to be changing mine in case you need to go look back on past MOASSes or anything like that. So you would have this in your folder, but I'm going to open it up right here, and it's password protected, but I already have it open. But the password is Cowboys, so that is COWBOYS with a capital C. Okay, so make sure you write that down. Okay, so we're going to talk about the MOASS. So the MOASS is the sheet that you use as the S1 to track basically everything about every single cadet. Now, there are a lot of columns. You have all the way to AK over here. Now, that's just because anyone throughout the year who needed, or throughout the years who have needed something tracked, have added a column. And there's a bunch of useless ones now, honestly. Some that you probably won't even use, like bonus over here. We don't really track that anymore because that's on a separate tracker. There's just a few that you might not use, and if you don't end up using it, I really don't recommend deleting it because there's a lot of like spaghetti code going on here where everything's kind of intertwined, and a bunch of other sheets kind of reference this spreadsheet. So I just don't recommend deleting columns, but you can like maybe change the color of it so you know not to use it. So as the S1, it's going to be the beginning of the school year, and you're going to want to add people as well as take people off. So what I did, I've already given you a bunch of columns to add people. If you're going to add more columns in the future, let me find one. Make sure that you copy the formulas over as well. You can't just make a new row and then type eligible right here because nothing's going to happen. Now you have to make sure that you copy down the formulas for everything and do that for the entire row because you want the formulas to work. So again, you're the S1. It's the beginning of the school year. You talk to Ms. Sanchez, and she has sent you the list of all the new students registering. So what I did at the beginning of the school year is I said, hey, Ms. Sanchez, can I please get a list of all the students registered for ROTC? And she's like, yeah, here you go. Here, Ms. Sanchez, thanks. You're very nice. And she sent me them by class. So MS1, MS2, MS3, and MS4. And when you click on these, it has every single cadet that registered by class. So it's a super, helpful thing she sent. And what you're going to want to do at the beginning of the year is go through and double check that these lists correlate. So this is the MS1 class as of the 20th of January. So as of the beginning of the spring semester 2020. So what I did is I opened this on another tab, and I opened the MOASS, and I just made sure they were the same. So here we have Adkins, Amarada, and Baker, and I was like, okay. Well, first, sorry. So first you got to sort it by MS class. So I want MS1, and then it gives it a second. It kind of takes a little bit, and then I'm gonna sort it by A to Z. There we go. My bad. And then okay, I was like Adkins, Emirata, Baker, and then it's Blazek, Buckwalter, Burton. Okay, Blazek, Buckwater, Burton. Now this is all going to be the same because I've done it, but you're going to go down the list and make sure everyone matches up to the MOASS. And it will, or it should, and you're just going to have to add people if they're not on the list. So you're going to have new freshmen in there, and you're going to go to those rows I made, and you're going to fill them in. And then if someone's gone, all you're going to do, I should have made an extra row. But if someone's gone, so here we have Brian 2, 12, Brian 12. You're going to right click it, and it gets really, really slow for some reason because as you can see, this goes all the way down to 1.5 million right here. And I don't know why it does it. I've tried to fix it multiple times, but if you sort the columns, it goes all the way down to the million, so it's super slow. So yeah, it's just now catching up. But when you have to delete someone's row, or you just come right here, hit delete row. There we go. And it is gone. So if there's a freshman on there that no longer exists, and it's not in the registered list that Ms. Sanchez sent you, bam, you can just delete them. Okay, so that's how you add and get rid of people. And then you want to do that by class, every single MS class. So now I'm going to tell you about what you're actually going to add for each person. So make sure before you change anything, you want to clear all the filters. So I cleared the MS class filter, and I don't want it by last name, I want it by smallest to largest. And then that's going to give me the entire battalion in last name order. So yeah, there you go. You have all the lists. So if you want to add somebody, you can type 105. It doesn't really matter what number this is. This is just so you can sort it and have everyone in one list. So 105, this is Cadet Brian Brendan. I'm a new freshman, so MS1. You've assigned me to Alpha Company, and I'm an E1 because I am starting. The data rank is probably going to be the first day of the semester. The spring recruiting points, I have nothing. That's going to reference this spreadsheet right here, so no one has anything right now. In terms of last semester for GPA, I think that's 4. It doesn't really matter. I don't have a GPA, so it's just going to leave that blank. You don't know if I made honors list, so blank. Perfect attendance, I didn't do that, I just started, so blank. Bonus, again, we don't use that column. ROTC grade. So with this ROTC grade column, again, you're going to go to Ms. Sanchez. She has everything you need. And this is another email she sent me. So it's fall 2019 semester grades, and I've hid the names right here. But she has every single GPA, cumulative, and ROTC GPA for every cadet by MS class. So you're going to go in, and when you have these new freshmen, they're not going to have a cumulative GPA or an ROTC grade, so you're just going to leave it blank because they have nothing. And then you can type in the university cumulative GPA, which is right here, cumulative GPA. And then you're going to go to the ROTC GPA. Again, ROTC GPA, where is it? Semester GPA. Oh, I think that's another list. I'm sorry, I don't even remember how to get that one. I suck. I hate myself. But I think you can just ask her for that. I think that's a different email she sent me. Miss Sanchez and Mr. Hill have anything you could ever want, so just ask them. And then again, you're gonna fill that in. And contracted, like are they contracted or not? Are they catted or not? Like no, they're new. And then again, I have these yellows because I haven't been using these. You're gonna use the last APFT. Let me change. I don't know why that one is yellow. Make that black. Oh, dang. I'm just gonna clear that. So with the last APFT, what you're going to do is go to the MS4 SharePoint. So you should have access to that SharePoint. I've bookmarked it, so it's really, really easy to get to. Going to go to Cadet Staff. You're going to have your own class list. And then I have Spring 2020. And then CSM, that's the CSM's job. And then they have the APFT tracker right here. And you're just going to put their APFT score in right here. There's an easy way to do that. I'm sure you can go down the list and do it one by one by one, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But you can also just directly import it from Excel and have it reference people's names and do that. So that's more of a pivot table. I don't really know how to do that. If you do, all power to you. I recommend making this process as easy as you can. So then for APFT pass fail, if they failed, you want to type it in, because sometimes they can get above 180 but still fail because they failed push-ups or sit-ups, and that'll be denoted here in the CSM's document. So you can see right here that just because someone right here got a 194, they still failed because they didn't meet, like they failed, yeah, right here, they failed, I don't know what that is, they failed their run. So you have to manually denote fail because it looks like they have a passing score, but they actually do not. And then remedial PT, so this is going to automatically fill in. See, I didn't do what I said I should right here. And make sure the formulas come down. But this will just say, hey, if this is a fail, then they have to be on remedial PT. So that'll automatically fill in for you. Special team eligibility, that has to do with your PT, or not your PT, with the CAD. So if someone's CADed, they're ineligible. Or if they have a failing GPA, they're also ineligible. Okay? Then you go across, and they have, you know, flags. There's a different flag tracker, so you don't have to worry about that. Base pay, these people are all ineligible because they don't have passing PT tests or grades, so it's going to stay ineligible right here. And then, you know, this is all just any stuff you really need to add. It's up to you if you want to. This is just for like promotion points or whatever. So that's what you're going to do if you have a new freshman and you want to add data for them. Again, make sure you add this 105 right here, and then for the next one, 106, 107, because it just makes it easy to sort people when you have all these different sorts, all these different filters applied. You can always go back to here and just sort by number, and all the filters will reset. Okay, so that is it for the MOASS. Just make sure that you're updating things, you know, every couple of weeks or every PT test. You want to come in here, update the PT score at the beginning of the semester. Make sure that every single person is in the MOASS, and then make sure, you know, everyone's company is correct. Make sure everyone's rank is correct. And then, so in terms of rank, again, the cadre are going to send you an email sometime in the semester saying, here's all the new positions, and here's the ranks that correlate to it. So if someone has moved up to a team leader, let's say Mark Swain, he'll be an MS2 by the time you're S1. He moved up to a team leader, and that's an E4. They'll say E4. So you change that, bam, right here to E4. Okay, and then that is it for the MOASS. So it's pretty simple. If you have any questions, come and ask me. Again, just make sure that you're careful with your filters. If like you can't find someone or something seems messed up, clear all your filters and then just sort it by smallest to largest. Okay. So now we're going to go to the Accessions point tracker. So this is also in the MOASS. It's right here, the fall 2019 recruiting points. You can make this fall 2020 recruiting points, change the names, whatever. But, or spring 2020 recruiting points, you know, same thing. But you're going to go and talk to the MS instructors and see if they have the points laid out. If they don't, you're going to send out an RFI, just in the, ask the XO to send out an RFI of if you've earned Accessions points. So XO can take care of that. He'll send that by email. But basically, like if someone's done military appreciation game, that's 1 point. You know, cannon crew, you know, all these are different amount of points, and that's in the colonel's policy letter. It tells you how many points things are worth. So when you get that RFI back from the XO, it's gonna, like, everyone's gonna send in exactly what they've done, and you're just gonna go here and one by one, you know, add everyone's points in, and again referencing the colonel's policy letter based on how many points things actually are. Okay. I recommend doing this like once or twice throughout the semester. No, don't do it once. Do it at least twice, because you want, the MS instructors are going to want those points to like make their class list or their order of merit list. So it's important to have those updated. And if you're in the second semester, you have a RU to do that for you, but don't really worry about it too much. Okay, so this is the MOASS, as well as accessing it from Remote Lab and the Accessions point tracker. Remember, the password for the spreadsheet is Cowboys. And remember right here, if you need to get to the just MOASS, you need to type this down in the search bar. One thing I did forget to mention is make sure that you save this to your desktop, because you only have to do it once. If you type it in, you know, and you get the actual share drive up, just save this whole thing as a shortcut to your desktop, so that way you don't have to type it in. Especially if you forget you can't access it, that'd be unfortunate. So just save it right here on your desktop. Alright, that's it for the first video.